Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Martial Universe Season 8 Part 5 based on novel. So let's start. Xueling. Ying Xiaoxiao and the rest frowned as they watched the sword sect disciples that had suddenly appeared. It was unexpected that these people would also be sent to this area. Moreover, from the looks of it, they also possessed some means of dealing with the sea of ants and were aware of the commotion on here. Lin Dong's eyes drifted over the group of sword sect disciples. He discovered that amongst the sword sect disciples, other than Xueling, who had reached the peak of the 9-yuan nirvana stage, there seemed to be one other disciple who had also reached the 9-yuan nirvana stage. This strength might not be considered weak, but it was still a little inferior when compared to the lineup of their Dao sect. However, if both parties were to really engage in an all-out fight here, injuries would be unavoidable. This situation was something that neither party wished to see. Lin Dong's eyes turned towards Ying Xiaoxiao. The latter was also in deep thought. However, from the looks of it, she did not desire to come into conflict with the disciples from Sword Sect here. After all, they already had a bad relationship with Yuan Gate. It would become quite dangerous for them if they ended up becoming enemies with the other sects. From the air, Xueling smilingly looked at Lin Dong and Ying Xiaoxiao, who were in deep thought. He was naturally aware that the strength of the Dao sect disciples was stronger than their own. However, he was also clearly aware of Ying Xiaoxiao and the rest's concerns. Therefore, his tone did not show much fear. Allow them to go and take the mysterious life beads first. Ying Huanhuan suddenly arrived behind Lin Dong while he and Ying Xiaoxiao were in deep thought. After which, she softly spoke in a voice that only the both of them could hear. Lin Dong was momentarily startled when he heard Ying Huanhuan's voice. He glanced at her. At this moment, the young lady's bright and enchanting large eyes were flickering with a little fox-like cunningness. Although Lin Dong did not know why Ying Huanhuan would say this, he still nodded after a brief hesitation. Due to Ying Huanhuan's identity as a reincarnator, he was aware that the latter's senses were likely even sharper than his own. There are 4 mysterious life beads in the corpses below. Each of our parties shall take 2 of them. Lin Dong raised his head and spoke towards Xueling in an indifferent voice. Ying Xiaoxiao and the rest were startled when they heard Lin Dong's words. They exchanged looks with one another, however, they did not voice any objections. Ha ha, it is indeed nice to talk to brother Lin Dong. Our sword sect disciples will remember this favor. Xueling was also momentarily stunned by Lin Dong's decisiveness. Immediately, joy surged out from his eyes. He unceremoniously extended his hand as sharp sword aura swept downwards and directly transformed into a light hand. The hand grabbed at the white lights within the 2 corpses' stanchions. Lin Dong's lips moved slightly when Xueling acted. A soft voice was transmitted into all the Dao sect disciples' ears, "Everyone, be careful." Many Dao sect disciples' hearts were immediately stunned when they heard Lin Dong's voice. Immediately, the Yuan power within their bodies began to circulate as golden light surged over the surface of their bodies. Clearly, they had activated the Nirvana golden body. Swoosh! The light hand containing formidable sword aura entered the underground like lightning. However, before the light hand could grab the 2 corpses, an extremely obscure fluctuation was suddenly emitted from within the corpse. Lin Dong's pupils suddenly shrunk when that fluctuation was emitted. Soon after, he inhaled a deep breath of cold air as he saw the 4 corpses abruptly open their eyes. Blood red surged within those shrunken eyes, while threads of black air lingered over them. They did not possess any emotion. All they had was an extremely pure desire to kill. Kai? The 4 corpses suddenly raised their heads and violently swung their skinny withered hands. 4 black light symbols swept out and directly blasted apart the light hand that was rushing over. Moreover, the remnant force swept out like lightning and attacked the sword sect disciples in the sky. The sudden change had also caused the expressions of Xueling and the other sword sect disciples to change slightly. Fortunately, they reacted quickly. They hurriedly activated the Yuan power within their bodies when the black ripple swept over. After which, they unleashed their attacks. Green Yuan Sword Finger. Several hundred sharp sword auras whistled out simultaneously, and collided against the black ripple from all directions. Immediately, a low explosion continuously resounded across the sky. Grug! Those 4 black demon symbols clearly possessed an extremely frightening power. Hence, despite the sword sect disciples utilizing their numbers advantage, the expressions of some of the disciples quickly turned pale, and they spat out a mouthful of fresh blood. Clearly, the injuries that they had suffered were not light. There was something amiss after all. Lin Dong and the other disciples from Dao sect had stunned expressions as they watched this scene. Immediately, they rejoiced within their hearts. Fortunately, they were not the ones who had acted first, otherwise, they would be targeted instead. They are actually demon corpses. Ying Xiaoxiao's face contained shock as she gazed at those 4 red-eye corpses deep underground. She immediately inhaled a breath of cool air as she muttered, "Demon corpse." Lin Dong was momentarily startled. There are quite a number of experts from ancient times who had fallen here. After their deaths, their corpses were eroded by the demonic chi of unique devil region and ended up turning into a demon corpse that is no different from those demonic monsters. These demon corpses' strength might not be comparable to when they were alive, but their combat capabilities are not to be underestimated. It is likely that every single one of these 4 demon corpses is not weaker than the Little Thunder King, Lei Qian. Moreover, they are not afraid of dying and will never stop once they begin to attack. Stronger than Lei Qian her. Lin Dong's pupils shrunk a little. He immediately became decisive as he spoke in a low voice, "Let's leave. We do not want the mysterious life beads." Although the mysterious life beads were a rather rare treasure, this was only the case if one was alive to enjoy its benefits. Faced with 4 demon corpses with the half a foot to the mysterious life stage strength, they would definitely suffer many deaths and injuries even if they relied on their superior numbers. That price was not something they could afford. Go? Ying Xiaoxiao and Wang Yang also gritted their teeth and endured their reluctance. They waved their hands and the many disciples from Dao sect rushed upwards, before flying away. A zither sound had once again spread when the Dao sect disciples rushed upwards, blocking the ant tide that was now surging over. Senior brother Xueling, the people from Dao sect are leaving. Those sword sect disciples were stunned when they saw that the Dao sect disciples were actually fleeing. After which, they turned their eyes towards Xueling at the front. "We will also leave. We cannot deal with these 4 demon corpses. Damn it, why are we so unlucky to have met such troublesome things after only just entering unique devil region?" Xueling clenched his teeth when he saw this. He was also decisive. With a twist of his body, he immediately led his group to withdraw. As the 2 parties separated and retreated in unison, the 4 demon corpses underground slowly began to stand up as though they had just woken up. Their bodies moved and appeared on the surface. Scarlet eyes swept in both directions. Soon after, 2 corpses flew upwards and chased sword sect disciples. A red flash appeared in the eyes of the remaining 2 as they gave chase in the direction where the Dao sect disciples had fled. A large cluster of light rushed across the dark, desolate plains. Some of them would occasionally look behind them. This is bad. We were still targeted. Wang Yang's eyes hardened when they drifted behind him, and his expression changed slightly as he said, 2 demon corpses have followed us. Ying Xiaoxiao's face was also somewhat grave. 2 corpses, huh? Lin Dong curled his mouth as his eyes flashed. These demon corpses were comparable to an expert like Lei Qian. Additionally, they did not feel any pain and did not know fear. Once they started, they would not stop until they died. It was extremely troublesome to deal with them. What should we do? They have locked onto us. If nothing unexpected occur, they will likely continue to chase us in this manner. Ying Huan also bunched her eyebrows together as she said. Lin Dong frowned. A moment later, he suddenly asked softly, "Senior sister disciple Xiao Xiao, if you and senior brother disciple Wang Yang were to join hands and are aided by all the other seniors and juniors present, will you be able to finish off 1 demon corpse?" Ying Xiao exchanged glances with Wang Yang after hearing this. After which, she nodded and said, "We should be able to deal with one of them." However, there are 2 demon corpses following us. I will lure the other one away and deal with it. Lin Dong gritted his teeth and said. Alone? Ying Xiaoxiao was startled. Although Lin Dong was quite strong, the demon corpse was a troublesome enemy that even someone like Lei Qian would not be able to deal with. Lin Dong might have been able to cause Lei Qian to suffer a slight loss in Unique Devil City, but the current situation was not a bet or spar like back then. The demon corpse will not be bothered by face like Lei Qian. Lin Dong nodded. He had many techniques that could not be displayed in front of the Dao sect disciples. His concerns would diminish if he was alone. Ying Xiaoxiao and Wang Yang were quiet. Clearly, they were worried about Lin Dong luring the demon corpse away by himself. Let me follow you. Ying Huan suddenly spoke softly while Ying Xiaoxiao and the rest were silent. I have brought the heavenly phoenix zither with me this time around. These demonic monsters might be strong, but they are weak against sonic wave attacks. I will be able to help you suppress it. The young lady looked at Lin Dong with her bright and enchanting large eyes as she softly spoke. Huan is right. Her sonic wave has a substantial suppressing effect towards these demonic monsters. Ying Xiaoxiao nodded in agreement when she heard this. All right. Lin Dong hesitated for a moment, after which, he finally nodded under the gaze of those bright large eyes of the young lady. He had many techniques that Ying Huan was already aware of, and both of them could also be considered to have a tacit understanding. Moreover, from the looks of the situation, it was likely that this little miss, who had just ceased being angry, would not let it go so easily if he did not agree. Let's go. Having made their decision, this large group of theirs also slowed to a stop in the air. After which, they turned around and looked into the distance. There, 2 black lights that were accompanied by an endless murderous aura, were rushing over. The black lights rolled in from the horizon, bringing along a thick murderous aura and appeared not far ahead from the Dao sect disciples. With the appearance of the 2 demon corpses, the group was able to take a clear look at them. The demon corpses' bodies were extremely dry, as if they did not hold a single drop of moisture in them. They were so dry that they looked withered and skinny. Their black skin seemed to shimmer faintly and looked as if it was made of fine iron. Murderous aura as high as the heavens spread out from the demon corpses. Their deep bloodshot eyes were devoid of any human emotion. These ancient experts had already been invaded by the demonic qi and were now human-shaped demons. Lin Dong gravely looked upon the demon corpses advancing towards them. He leaned over to Ying Xiaoxiao and said in a low voice, "We'll act according to the plan. Be careful." "Yes, you guys be careful too," Ying Xiaoxiao nodded and replied. Lin Dong nodded and said nothing more. With a flick of his finger, a sharp gust of wind formed from Yuan power violently shot towards one of the demon corpses. Roar! Hit by Lin Dong's attack, the demon corpse swiftly let out a low roar. Its bloodshot eyes suddenly intensified as its body promptly transformed into a ray of light and charged towards them. "Let's go." As the demon corpse rushed over, Lin Dong leaned over to Ying Huan and gave a low shout. His figure first rushed out, and both of them transformed into rainbow light, flying towards the other side of the desolate plains. Behind them, the demon corpse was in hot pursuit, deeply intent on killing them. Dao sect disciples, get into formation. Seeing that Lin Dong and Ying Huan had drawn away one of the demon corpses, Ying Xiaoxiao's face turned grim. Without further ado, a clear shout rang out from her mouth. Instantly, thick Yuan power bloomed outwards in the area. 2 streaks of light flashed across the expanse of the sky. Around 10 minutes later, they finally landed on the desolate plains in succession. They turned around to face the demon corpse which was close on their heels. "I'll face it straight on." "You be careful," Lin Dong gazed at the demon corpse, which was nearing them like a tassel-boned maggot, before leaning over to warn the young girl next to him. "Yes." Ying Huan nodded lightly and immediately sat down cross-legged. With a wave of her jade-like hand, the fiery red heavenly phoenix zither once again appeared in a flash. A fluctuation slowly emitted, and in that faint moment, even Lin Dong seemed to be slightly moved by it. The phoenix on the zither seemed to be about to fly out from it. Clearly, Ying Huan had not skived on her training with regard to the heavenly phoenix zither during this period. She was now obviously more skilled and familiar with it compared to before. Phew. Lin Dong took in a deep breath. Soon after, he made a grasping motion with his hand as a black tree branch flashed and appeared. At the same time, green light flooded out and both his arms and legs immediately materialized into dragon form. Against such monster, Lin Dong did not dare to be careless in the slightest. Boom! As Lin Dong materialized into dragon form, the black light had already reached him in a flash. Without any warning, a razor-sharp claw, bringing with it a radiating black light, pierced towards Lin Dong's chest like lightning. Clang! Lin Dong took a step forward, Yuan power gushing forth like a tidal wave within him. Savage-looking dragon arms waved the black tree which was as heavy as a mountain, clashing again and again with the demonic corpse's strange claw. Clear metallic clangs rang out. A circle of invisible energy undulated outwards from the point of contact. In the very next moment, the ground collapsed in the blink of an eye, large cracks spreading outwards like a spider web. Energy undulation swept outwards from the epicenter as Lin Dong's figure retreated over 10 steps. Both his arms were slightly numb and his heart sank. Although the demonic corpse's strength fell short of its past glory, its physical body had actually grown much more ferocious under the corrosion of the demonic chi. Every part of its body was a lethal weapon. Slash, slash, slash! Lin Dong was forced backwards. Yet the demonic corpse left him no time to take a breather. Black light flashed forward, sharp and quick like a black sword, thrusting towards Lin Dong's vitals with every stroke. In response to the no-nonsense aggressive offense of the demonic corpse, even Lin Dong panicked momentarily. For a time, Lin Dong was completely suppressed. Dong! While Lin Dong was suppressed, a clear zither note rang out, soaring like a phoenix's song. A majestic red sonic wave swept towards the demonic corpse and slammed into it heavily, forcing it back several steps. As the sonic wave made contact with the demonic corpse, the sonic wave melted into countless strands instantly and began invading its body in a frenzied manner. Under the corrosion of the sonic wave, the murderous aura surrounding the demonic corpse weakened substantially. Its offense also started to mellow compared with its earlier aggression. Taking advantage of the moment, Lin Dong recovered his posture. His eyes narrowed as he strode forward, green light shimmering on the green scales on his dragon arm. The black tree became a flash of black, lashing out at the body of the demonic corpse with tremendous strength. Boom! The fierce strike threw the demonic corpse several feet backwards, leaving a deep track on the ground. What a tough body! Despite having batted away the demonic corpse with swing of the tree, Lin Dong's face remained grim. The strike felt akin to hitting the hardest steel that ever existed. Even the body of a 9-yuan Nirvana stage expert was no match for the toughness of the demonic corpse's flesh. Desolate demon eye? As he watched the demonic corpse pick itself up from the ground again without so much as a pant, Lin Dong's eyes grew sharp and cold. Seals changed and a demon eye materialized between his eyes. An immensely destructive grey beam of light shot out and slammed violently onto the body of the demonic corpse. Boom! The demonic corpse was blasted off the ground again into the distance. Yet, before it could pick itself up again, a massive ancient palm slammed downwards onto it with astonishing force. Great desolate imprisoning heavenly hand. The ground collapsed and cracked apart, leaving deep giant pits on its surface. The demonic corpse was slammed deep into the ground. Yet, Lin Dong's eyes turned even grimmer as he looked on. He could feel that the demonic corpse had still not taken much damage despite his aggressive offense. This thing was like an unkillable monster. The soil on the ground burst open as a black figure climbed out from below. Its deep-set and blood-red eyes sent chills down one's spine. Lin Dong's face was black as he stared at the demonic corpse. Just then, he shifted his gaze downward slightly to a white light shining at its dantian region. It seems like that was its Achilles heel, but the layer of dry black skin guarded it like an impregnable fortress. I can only hit where it hurts after I weaken its defenses. A sparkle flashed in Lin Dong's eyes, which narrowed a little. Huan, can you restrain it for a while? Lin Dong's head tilted in Huan's direction as he asked in a hushed tone. Barely. But only for a very short time. Ying Huan gritted her teeth in reply. Taking a deep breath, Lin Dong clasped his palms together and a thick glow began to radiate from them. A formation of light seemed to appear. Roar! The demonic corpse roared deeply again as the light formation materialized in Lin Dong's palms. In a flash, its body sprung towards Lin Dong like a streak of black light. Dang! At the sight of the demonic corpse's movement, Ying Huan gently bit her lip as she began strumming swiftly on her zither, her slender fingers ablur over it. Swoosh swoosh swoosh! As the zither strings were strummed, streak after streak of red sonic waves burst forward, entangling the demonic corpse all over in an instant. Demon suppressing tune. Ying Huan's fingers froze all of a sudden. The countless strands of sonic light waves formed highly mysterious and strange musical notes that stuck to the body of the demonic corpse, suppressing it by its sheer weight and force. Crack! Unfortunately, the restraining effect was rather limited. As the demonic corpse struggled with all its might, the notes began to crack and were on the verge of shattering. Ying Huan's face turned white as a sheet of paper. Yet, she stubbornly bit her lip and refused to release her grip on the zither, leaving drops of blood from her fingers on the zither strings. Crack! Crack spread all over the musical notes and they finally shattered completely. A deep moan escaped Ying Huan's throat and blood appeared at the corner of her lips. Swoosh! With its restraints broken, the demonic corpse's blood-red gaze fell on Ying Huan. Immediately, it changed its target and shot towards her with murderous and savage intent as a strong gust of wind followed in its wake. Ying Huan stared at the demonic corpse as it shot towards her. Her face fell. She poised herself to play the heavenly phoenix zither again, yet, as her fingertip landed on the zither string, a figure materialized before her in a flash like a phantom. Disintegrate? Lin Dong's eyes were cold as the light formation in his palm extended to 5 feet and began spinning counterclockwise without warning. At the very next moment, an indescribably strange and undulating beam of light suddenly burst forth from it. It slammed into the dantian of the demonic corpse at an astonishing speed. BZZZ. After the beam of light hit the demonic corpse, the strange black skin of the corpse began to disintegrate at a shockingly rapid pace. Unbelievably, its impenetrable defense was being completely broken apart at that instant. Swoosh! Lin Dong's figure shot forward at this moment and appeared before the demonic corpse in the blink of an eye. He jabbed his dragon arm forward, penetrating the demonic corpse's abdomen with ease, then pulled it back at lightning speed. There was now a ball of white light in his palm, a pill rapidly spinning within it. Boom! With the ball of white light out of its body, the blood-red glow in the eyes of the previously murderous demonic corpse faded away. With a stagger, the demonic corpse collapsed onto the ground without so much as a breath left in it. Phew! Seeing that the demonic corpse was finally beaten, Lin Dong sighed a huge sigh of relief. He turned around and looked at the young girl with a ponytail. A trace of blood hung from the corner of her lips. Involuntarily, Lin Dong felt an ache in his heart. Do you really need to push yourself so hard? It won't kill to ask for help, you know. The young girl lifted her fair hand and silently wiped away the trace of blood on the corner of her lips. In that moment, she looked uncharacteristically sweet and quiet in contrast with her usual bubbly demeanor. Hugging the ancient scarlet-red zither, she lifted her chin slightly and laughed. Well, at least you won't think I'm your burden this way. Beside the demonic corpse, the youth who had just fought a bitter fight stood stunned as a complicated look appeared in his eyes. Ying Huan looked at the dazed young man beside the demon corpse, as a charming smile once again appeared on her pretty face. After which, she waved her hand towards Lin Dong. Hey, have you become stupid? Be careful of the demon corpse, it might get up again. Lin Dong was neither able to laugh nor cry in the face of her words. He immediately said, I have never said that you are a burden. Moreover, it is likely that it will be me who will be a burden to you in the future. Ying Huan possessed the secret identity of a reincarnator. Although Lin Dong was not too knowledgeable about this, he was able to tell that Ying Huan's strength would be quite terrifying once she awakens. At that time, it would truly be difficult to guess who would be the real burden. Ying Huan blinked her large eyes. Although she did not understand why Lin Dong said this, she smiled and replied after some thought. If that day ever comes, you can be rest assured that I will not blame you for holding me back. I will definitely protect you. Ying Huan involuntarily covered her mouth and laughed in a lovely manner after saying those words. She had probably imagined the scene where the usually strong Lin Dong would end up needing her protection. It would definitely be quite a humorous sight. Lin Dong shook his head helplessly, and did not continue this topic. Instead, he turned his gaze towards the cluster of white light in his hand. The white light felt quite warm. A thumb-sized pill was spiraling within the white light, while mysterious life chi was slowly diffused from it. Lin Dong could sense the exalted presence of this life chi, as well as its endless vitality. Is this the mysterious life bone bead? Ying Huan walked over at this moment and curiously watched the light cluster in Lin Dong's hand. Lin Dong smiled and nodded. His luck was quite good this time around. If the sword sect disciples did not come and drive away the two demon corpses, it was likely that they would be forced to flee. After all, just dealing with a single demon corpse was already this vexing. If they were faced with 4 instead, it would practically be a disaster. Whether or not the sword sect disciples would be able to deal with the demon corpses that chased after them was not something that Lin Dong even bothered to consider. The other party had gotten involved through their own violation. Although Lin Dong did not have any intention to harm them, he also did not feel the inclination to lend them a hand. Lin Dong observed the mysterious life bone bead in his hand. After which, he kept it inside his storage ring. His eyes suddenly swept over the demon corpse that had collapsed on the ground. He mused for a moment before squatting down, and touched the demon corpse with his finger. The corpse felt hard and ice-cold. Its body had clearly reached an astoundingly strong level after experiencing the demonic chi's corrosion. Its degree of resilience was likely even greater than that of Lin Dong, who had practiced the green heaven materialized dragon skill. What is it? Ying Huan was momentarily startled when she saw Lin Dong's actions and asked in a somewhat puzzled manner. This demon corpse's physical body is frighteningly strong. Isn't it a pity to leave it here? Lin Dong pursed his lips and said. Such a demon corpse body is what those fellows from 10,000 puppet sect like the most, as they are able to refine it into a powerful puppet. However, we do not have such a skill. Additionally, this demon corpse is very unique because it is filled with the demonic chi of unique devil region. If one was to casually refine it and the demonic chi enters one's body, one's mind will be immediately eroded, Ying Huan said. Refining it into puppet her. Lin Dong's eyes flickered for a moment. Although he had once possessed a puppet, they were all complete products that he had picked up. Therefore, he naturally did not possess the ability to refine a puppet. However, if it was about controlling this demon corpse, such a deed might not be completely impossible for him. I will place my Yuan spirit into the demon corpse. This should allow me to control it, right? Lin Dong raised his head and spoke to Ying Huan. His thoughts were not complicated. The current him had already successfully agglomerated a Yuan spirit. If he placed his Yuan spirit into the demon corpse, he would be able to rely on the Yuan spirit power to transform this demon corpse into a puppet-like existence that was under his control. No way. The demon puppet has an extremely strong demonic chi within it. An ordinary person would not even dare to refine it. If you place your Yuan spirit in it, your Yuan spirit will immediately be eroded by the demonic chi. What difference will it be from seeking death? Ying Huan hurriedly said. Her face suddenly changed when she heard these words. That is only for an ordinary Yuan spirit. Lin Dong smiled slightly. He immediately extended his hand as a palm-sized Yuan spirit figure surfaced on his palm. Numerous black light patterns suddenly appeared on the surface of the Yuan spirit when it appeared. These light patterns vaguely formed an extremely mysterious symbol. At a glance, it appeared like a black hole, and devouring power was quietly emitted from it. This is the devouring ancestral symbol. Ying Huan looked at the black symbol that had appeared on the surface of the Yuan spirit before speaking softly. From the looks of it, she was not exceptionally surprised. It was likely that she was already aware that Lin Dong possessed the devouring ancestral symbol through certain means. I have the devouring ancestral symbol protecting my Yuan spirit. Regardless of how strong the demonic chi of the demon corpse is, it will not be able to erode me in any way. Lin Dong smiled and nodded. This was also why he had the confidence to place his Yuan spirit into the body of the demon corpse. He would naturally not dare to do something so foolish if he did not have the devouring ancestral symbol. With the devouring ancestral symbol, it shouldn't be much of a problem. Ying Huan sighed in relief. Only then did she nod her head. Help me stand guard. I will give it a try. Lin Dong's eyes were somewhat excited. The ferocity of the demon corpse was something that he had personally experienced. Its ability to withstand physical attacks caused even himself to feel an incomparable headache. If it was not because he reversed the ancient universe formation and activated the disintegration force that he had discovered a while back, it was likely that he would not be able to break such a powerful defense. Therefore, this demon corpse would become quite a great fighting strength if he could control it. Okay. Ying Huan replied. After which, she quietly withdrew. Lin Dong sat down in front of the demon corpse. He first calmed down the Yuan power fluctuation within his body. After which, his expression gradually became solemn. With a thought, the Yuan spirit on his hand swept out and entered the demon corpse from its forehead. Kai. Following the entry of Lin Dong's Yuan spirit into the body of the demon corpse, the originally quiet corpse also underwent some sudden and unusual changes. Wave after wave of black demonic chi erupted from the demon corpse. After which, the demonic chi frantically swept towards its head. A circular golden light was emitted from that spot. The black demonic chi continuously surged out from within the demon corpse. Finally, it wrapped around the golden light and began to erode it from every possible spot. The golden light clearly began to show signs of swiftly weakening in the face of this erosion. Humph! Lin Dong's eyes sunk when he saw this scene. He cried out coldly within his heart as the seal formed by his hand changed. After which, a black symbol surfaced from within the golden light. It turned into a circular black hole that protected the Yuan spirit within it. Sizzle sizzle. The demonic chi was immediately being forcefully swallowed by devouring power the moment it came into contact with the slowly rotating black hole. However, the demonic chi that was swallowed caused Lin Dong's expression to change slightly. This was because he discovered that such demonic chi did not benefit him in the least. Instead, it would taint his pure Yuan power. Immediately, he forcefully annihilated the demonic chi when using the devouring ancestral symbol. The devouring ancestral symbol was just like a perfect defense that protected Lin Dong's Yuan spirit in an impenetrable manner. The demonic chi began to slowly scatter after seeing that its erosion power was useless. After which, it once again entered the demon corpse. A strange feeling began to surface within Lin Dong's mind after the demonic chi withdrew. Immediately, an order was issued from his mind. The demon corpse that was lying on the ground suddenly opened its eyes, shocking Ying Huan. She only sighed in relief after seeing that the demon corpse did not attack. From the looks of it, it seemed that Lin Dong's method had worked. Lin Dong's eyes were boiling hot as he watched the demon corpse, which had stood up once again. At this moment, the eyes of the latter was no longer scarlet. Instead, they were faintly gold. The murderous aura had also diminished greatly. You've succeeded? Ying Huan carefully asked. It seems so. Lin Dong's mouth parted into a smile. A thought passed through his mind and the demon corpse quietly stood by his side, appearing like a loyal guard. This is truly a great haul. Lin Dong's eyes were burning hot. Compared to the mysterious lifebone bead, being able to control the demon corpse caused Lin Dong to be even more excited. After all, this was readily available combat strength. This thing would be able to help them shoulder quite a bit of pressure when they faced Yuan Gate in future. Shall we return to where Big Sis and the rest are? They might have trouble dealing with the other demon corpse. Ying Huan was somewhat unable to endure the fiery hot gaze that Lin Dong was using to look at the demon corpse beside him. She frowned a little as she said, "Okay. Lin Dong's eyes became slightly focused when this topic was mentioned. He was aware of how troublesome it was to deal with this demon corpse after having exchanged blows with it. Although Ying Xiaoxiao's group had the numbers advantage, if they failed to immobilize the demon corpse, an ordinary disciple would not be able to endure its attack. At that time, they would definitely suffer quite a great amount of injuries or deaths. Let's go. Lin Dong did not dare to be slow when he thought of this. He cried out softly before his body rushed out, while Ying Huanhuan followed closely behind. The demon corpse also followed behind them like a shadow. This video will end here.